Sometimes I feel like I need to take it upon myself to introduce some of the people on here to a little bit of a hidden gem, whether one person or 10,000 people watch it. And I feel like I have the perfect one for anyone interested, Champion, starring Don Lee, and let's get into it. So the premise of this movie is very simple. Don Lee plays a man named Mark who lives in America, and through a friend coming to visit him, he goes back to Korea to re-pursue arm wrestling, as you can see here, as a way to make money for certain things that come up in his life. Now, the plot itself is not very groundbreaking, so I won't go into it too much, but the main thing to take away from it is that it's a very tender-hearted movie, splashed with the traditional Don Lee comedy that you might be expecting, and plus it's a sports movie that focuses on arm wrestling, which I know that there's some movies that do that, but just not very many. And so whenever I saw this and I decided to watch it, I was completely caught off guard, but I am so glad that I discovered it. The movie does a great job about keeping you engaged in the world of arm wrestling, which might sound funny to say, but like I said, the movie is very lighthearted, and even the scenes where the antagonist, who is primarily antagonist of his friend and not him himself, they're very comical, and you definitely get a few good laughs out of it, which is very much keeps the story going and just keeps you engaged the entire time. Now, as you can see here, epic training montage is very prevalent in the movie, which definitely, as someone who doesn't follow arm wrestling, really enjoyed it, because I'm like, here I'm getting pumped for arm wrestling and I don't really know a thing about it, which is another thing. Typically with movies that follow basketball, football, baseball, you get a real deep dive into the psyche of the people playing, and so if they're trying to build a team or anything like that. Here you don't really get that. I mean, you see people arm wrestle and you see them training, so you get the gist, but it doesn't really give you like a deep dive into that world, which I suppose is fine. You gotta go where the marketing is, but ultimately that's okay, because I was able to watch it fully engaged without any issues in that regard. I will say the ending of the movie is very heartwarming. The ending of the plot's predictable, but it's very heartwarming, and it's just a good, satisfying ending to the movie. And I give this a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Not groundbreaking, but very heartwarming, very humorous, and just a great change of pace from all the nonstop action from most Korean movies. So if you like it,